Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, and good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk. You me funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! Well, Barbara, it is so phenomenal to be able to speak to you. Congratulations on this incredible series.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brad. And may I say, what a sharp newsroom.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You know what? We try to dress it up as much as we can. Look, this show, obviously, I guess I've been peripherally aware of a death investigator and kind of what maybe the position would entail, but not to this degree and not to this extent. And your knowledge, I'm not telling you anything you don't know already, is incredible how much you can see within your investigation. When you first, though, step on a scene, within the first few seconds, what is it that you're looking at within the first few moments?
When I step into any scene, as soon as I cross that threshold, I don't look at any particular thing. I take in the totality of the scene. And that means the smells, the sounds, the air temperature, the feeling in the room. Violence leaves its own imprint on a room, whether it's knocked over things or specks of blood, but there's a feeling I get, and I just take it all in, and I don't speak, I listen. I just listen to the room, and then I start getting into each section of it, and then concentrating in on the body and finding the evidence, relating that to the room. And that gives me a story to tell.
And then how long, though, did it take to develop that skill? Because obviously, whenever we start any kind of career, we don't know as much as we're going to by the first year down, 5 years down, 10 years down, or what have you. When did you start to feel like you developed your method?
It did take a couple of months. I had 3 months of on-the-job training. I went to every homicide in town, every suicide, every accident. I went to the FBI Academy for their course. I went to NYPD, all of their courses. And that taught me a lot about science. But what really taught me was just the experience of seeing cases over and over and over again. That experience, you take it and you learn what works. You watch different investigators, senior people. How do they walk in and start talking? Do they walk in and start listening? I'm a listener.
You're a listener. And let me ask you this too. And how many investigations have you done, if you had to ballpark it, like a few thousand?
5,500 scene investigations, and I think 680 of those were homicides.
How do you prevent yourself from allowing your own biases of your experience from coming into play? Because I would imagine with the amount of experience and scenes that you visited, it would be easy for the brain, because I know I would do it. It would be easy for the brain to go, oh, this looks just like that other one. It must be the same kind of circumstance. But I think that in your investigation, you have to take everything one step at a time.
That's right. Every single scene is fresh. There may be things that are reminiscent of another case, but I have to keep it fresh. This is its own case, its own universe. Whatever I've learned in the past, like a certain kind of mark, a ferning pattern on a burn, that means electrocution. So I know that. But every time I see a burn, do I think, oh, it's electrocution? No, every case is different. And you're right. It's an emotionally draining job. It's something where you have to detach from your feelings, because when you walk into that scene, sometimes you're overwhelmed by horror. You shut it down so that you can give your victim your best experience, your best job. And otherwise, I'm no good to them if I'm emotional. So you shut down hard.
So do you feel the weight of your position whenever you're on the scene, like because everyone, I mean, and you see it in the series, people say like, oh, we look to Barbara, like we really need her on these investigations. She helps point in the right direction. You said 600 plus were homicides. Do you feel the weight and the pressure of the position, or is that something like no different from a doctor, a surgeon, or even a great athlete? You have to, kind of quiet the noise around you and focus on what's in front of you.
I won't lump myself in with police and doctors and emergency room people who save
Sure.
lives. I'm a last responder. I come in when it's too late, but still I have the responsibility to give the family closure, to give them information, and to get justice for that victim. So to me, it's a privilege. It's not a weight. I love my job. Absolutely love it. I get to do a little something in the world, and I also get to see an incredible array of how people die and how they live. And that is a privilege, to be able to then tell their stories in a way that gets justice.
That brings justice and really importantly, like you said, the closure to the family. That has to be justice is a reward, but that closure to the family has to be the biggest reward, I would imagine, for you in your profession, to be able to give that to somebody, bring peace. Peace is so hard to obtain. And if you can give that to somebody, whoa, what an incredible gift.
It certainly is. And I was taught early on, you only tell the truth. If they say, did he suffer? You don't lie and say no. You tell them exactly how much to the best of your knowledge. Because people, what they imagine is so much worse than reality. So if I can say, yeah, he did have second-degree burns on his hands, but he died of smoke inhalation within 3 minutes. So yes, there was some pain, but it didn't last.
And I mean, in some strange way, so many people, my father actually passed away in June of this year, and we have thank you. We have an idea of what happened, but you don't know. He was in his 80s, what have you. There's a whole cacophony of things that could have occurred, that led to his ultimate passing. But I guess in your profession, you can actually give people specifics, which is sometimes rare for a family to go through with their loved one, and to have that true understanding of what exactly happened.
Absolutely. I work for the family. It's my job to get them exact information and give it to them. Not this bureaucracy stuff of, well, I can't tell you right now. No, I tell them the truth. I tell them everything I know. That's the important part of my job.
So why do the Death Investigator? What about this show? What about this project was important to you to be able to share this, your profession, your line of work, and who you are with the world?
There's so much true crime out there, so many shows, but this one I think is a little different in that, yes, we're solving a murder. But we're showing you who these people were, their lives, their families, and I think the viewer gets to see through me what it looked like, smelled like, felt like, what they see the feel. It's an emotional show in some ways. I'm back there with the detectives who I did the case with originally. These are tough guys, really tough. You'll see them choke up because, we remember that feeling and what it was like in there for that poor victim. So this stuff comes back to us. And I think that that's what comes across in this show, what it's like to be there.
How do you unwind though after an investigation like this that is so emotional and your senses are on overload and you have to focus in and you have to bring the closure? What is it that you can do to help bring you back to that homeostasis that we're always fighting for?
That's one of the most difficult things in the world.
Sure.
Once you shut down all day, if you come home and your partner says, oh, we got to paint this kitchen, let's make reservations to go to Florida and see my dad. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Do you have any idea what I've done today? But I can't say that because I signed on for this. Nobody else did. I got to keep it to myself. But in this show, I get to share a lot of that. And it's cathartic in some ways. When I was first in training, I saw the autopsy of an 8-year-old girl who'd been raped and smothered. And I said to the pathologist, Dr. Lee, how do you do this day after day, see this horror? She said, Barbara, when you leave here each day, I want you to do something creative. Surround yourself with beauty. It is the only way to counteract the death, despair, and destruction that you'll see every day here. So hug a tree, cook, eat, look at art, love. I thought, oh, that's some hippie, trippy stuff. I don't think that. But she was right. Because just a year or so later, I got a little house in the mountains with a dog and 2 cats. And I felt so much better hugging trees and petting the pets. So it does help.
Well, Barbara, I do appreciate you joining me today. And you know what, more so than even our conversation, I appreciate the work you've done for thousands of people, both who are still here on this planet and giving them closure and doing your best and with the utmost fidelity of the people who, as you said, were no longer here and you were the last responder. It is admiring and incredible work that you've done.
Thank you, Brad. I really appreciate that. Please stay safe.